Junius Silanus to speak.
Senators, I was summoned here from Spain by our emperor, by our late emperor. I need hardly describe to you the feelings with which I made the journey. A few months ago, hearing that an old friend was sick, I went to see him. What is it that ails you, I asked him. He smiled. Appius Silanus, he said, I have been summoned to Rome. He meant, of course, that he was dying. I arrived here yesterday. Today, the emperor is dead instead of me. Let that notorious phrase, summoned to Rome, perish with him, from our language forever. And let us return once again to the sanity of a republic.
Senators, the Praetorian Guards have carried off Caligula's uncle Claudius and proclaimed him emperor. Did you not hear what I said? The Guards have proclaimed Tiberius Claudius emperor.
Come on, sir, drink up.
I don't want any wine.
Well, do you mind if I,
I'm your prisoner, not you, mine.
Oh, no, you're not our prisoner. You're our emperor.
I've told you a dozen times I don't want to be emperor.
You're a funny chap. I'll bet you're the only person in this country who doesn't want to be an emperor. And yet here you are, chosen to be one. Life's full of irony, isn't it?
Hail Caesar! I have no right to that title and you've no business using it.
I told you, sir, he's being very awkward. He's been most uncooperative all the way here.
Leave us. You know, sir, I knew your brother, the noble Germanicus, on the Rhine years ago. We tried to make him emperor when Augustus died, but he'd have none of it either.
Well, my brother believed in a republic.
Yes, well, it's all very well for the likes of you, sir. Being members of the imperial family, you can afford the luxury of republican sentiments. I can't. I rose through the ranks. Besides, I've got 4,000 men who need an emperor if they're to be gainfully employed. I need hardly remind you what the result might be if they're let loose on the streets with nothing to do.
Excuse me, sir, there's a chap here who claims to be the king of Bashan.
Claims to be all his.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know there was a place called Bashan, let alone a king of it.
Do you know him, sir?
Well, if it's King Herod, of course. Let him in.
Congratulations, Caesar, on your election. May you long enjoy the great honors these brave soldiers have bestowed on you.
There you are, sir, you see? And he's the king of Bashan.
You've arrived at just the right moment, sir. It seems that though we've elected him emperor, Tiberius Claudius has a republic in mind. Perhaps you can persuade him to see the consequences of that. I wish you wouldn't keep taking it off, sir. It really does suit you.
What is the matter with you, Herod? Do you intend to go along with this farce?
Listen to me, old friend, and be thankful I arrived in Rome at this time. I know your views, so I know exactly what you're thinking. You have some idea of yielding up your power to the Senate at the earliest possible moment.
Of course.
You mustn't. First, it would be signal for civil war. The Senate are a flock of sheep, but there are several wolves among them, all convinced they should be emperor. Secondly, the moment you relinquish your power, you're a dead man.
Why? I believe in a republic.
You're a danger to the assassins. They've already killed Caesonia and the child. What? Don't you see? A republic necessitates the death of the whole imperial family, not just Caligula.
And Messalina.
Oh, she's sick. All that matters now is that you put aside your ancient prejudices, my friend, and accept the reality that is. If you do not, I cannot answer for the consequences.
These two protectors have been sent to summon you to the Senate.
What has happened to them?
They're fortunate to be alive, sir. The guards almost killed them as they crossed the camp.
Don't you know their persons are inviolable?
Sorry, Caesar. I'd have given them protection if I'd known they were coming.
It's a disgrace. Well, what does the Senate want?
Pardon us, Caesar.
Yourself! Calling me that!
The Senate would be obliged by your immediate attendance at the House. They're anxious to know your intentions.
What? Take our Emperor? Not a chance. Stamp him in a timer.
Get back, all of you! Tell the Senate that our Emperor remains here. And when he leaves with 4,000 guards behind him.
Give my compliments to the Senate. Tell them I am unable, for the moment, to comply with their request. And give them safe conduct back to the city.
Caesar. Out.
And move on.
Do nothing until you hear from me. I shall try to arrange a meeting between you and leading members of the Senate, but in the palace. But make your mind up to it, Claudius. For good or ill, they've made you emperor. If you don't accept, you won't survive. Or any of your family. If you do nothing else, accept. At least for the time being.
Senators, I understand you do not want another emperor, but it seems you have been given one. I sympathize with you. I do not want to be an emperor, but it seems I have been chosen one. Perhaps you would take a little moment to sympathize with me.
Your appointment is unconstitutional.
I agree, but there are 4,000 Praetorian guards who do not. And who created that Praetorian Guard? You did, in the reign of Augustus.
Nevertheless, it is against the Constitution for anyone but the Senate to appoint an emperor.
It is also against the Constitution to murder one. And if you hadn't done so, Marcus, we shouldn't be in this absurd position.
You're not fit to be emperor.
I agree. But Ador was my nephew.
Then what difference is there between you?
He would not have agreed. And by now, your head would be on that floor for saying so.
There are those who say you cannot hear properly. You cannot speak properly, and you've got no experience of government.
And that I am, besides, half-witted. Senators, it is true I'm hard of hearing, but you will find it's not for want of listening. As for speaking, again, it's true, I have an impediment. But isn't what a man says more important than how long he takes to say it? It's true again, I have little experience of government. But then have you more? I at least have lived with the imperial family who have ruled this empire ever since you so spinelessly handed it over to us. I've observed it working more closely than any of you. Is your experience better than that? As for being half-witted, well, what can I say? Except that I have survived to middle age with half my wits, while thousands have died with all of theirs intact. Evidently, quality of wits is more important than quantity. Senators, I shall do nothing unconstitutional. I shall appear at the next session of the Senate, where you may confirm me in my position or not, as you wish. But if it pleases you not to, explain your reasons to them, not to me. Now you may all leave my house, except Marcus, Pericles, and Asprenas, and bring in Cassius Chaerea and Gaius Sabinus. I feel a fraud.
You won't when you begin work. There's much to do, huh? Doing very well.
Caesar, Gaius Sabinus is dead. He has taken his own life. All the officers involved in the conspiracy have been arrested and are awaiting trial and execution.
I cannot find it in me to condemn you for killing my nephew. But you also murdered the Lady Caesonia and the child, and you meant to murder me and my wife, none of whom had ever done you any harm.
I did it for the Republic, and I would do it again.
No. You did it more for injuries to yourself than for the Republic. But even that doesn't weigh with me. What weighs with me is what I've heard. That it was agreed among you that only Caligula should die. But that you took it upon yourself to kill us all. Is that true?
Why should I deny it, when your very existence here proves that only your death would have ensured the return of the Republic?
Then you leave me no choice but to condemn you for the murder of Caesonia and the child. Take him away.
Congratulations, Caesar. You've passed your first sentence of death. How many more will you pass before they grow tired of you and pass one on you? Isn't that the way we've set for ourselves? Think about it, Caesar! Think about it!
The investigation into this affair is closed.
Claudius, there's no need to show him on the balcony every time you come in to see him.
Well, I like to show him. People like to see him. Next to you, he's the most important thing in my life. I can't thank you enough for him. I am so very much in love.
And so am I. I've given him to a foster mother to nurse.
But you're not going to breastfeed him anymore?
No, my dear. Now, wait. I've thought a great deal about it. Now, be honest. Have I been a help to you since you became emperor?
Of course. What would I have done without you? What would I have done without her?
Now, I want no small husbandly praises. I asked you to let me revise the senatorial roll. Who should be left on and who should be taken off. Was I efficient?
I was amazed, truly, at how much detailed knowledge you had of everyone.
And all the detailed work I did connected with your office as Director of Public Morals.
Yes, it was a revelation. Yes, truly, you've been a great help to me.
As Livia was to Augustus?
Yes?
My darling, I want to be Livia to your Augustus. Now, you know I have a brain in my head, as she had. I'll never be content just to be the mother of children. Oh, of course I shall love them. They'll be yours, how could I not? But I must work alongside you and relieve you of some of the small and petty burdens that have been thrust upon you.
And will breastfeeding my little son interfere with all this great work of state?
Well, how would you feel if you had to break off in the middle of a Senate meeting to go and breastfeed a child? Not once, but 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah, I can hardly find time to feed myself. Very well. All right. Now, I shall leave you to rest.
And you too should rest. You've not stopped for a year.
When do I have time to stop? Well, if you're not going to feed my son, I shall find you other work to do for me.
I told you he wouldn't be angry.
You are very fortunate to have such an understanding husband, considering that he is also emperor.
Well, he loves me, and I help him.
I don't know why you want to concern yourself so much with matters of state. It's not a woman's place.
It may not be yours, Mother, but it's mine.
Do you not intend to have any more children?
No.
Does your husband realize this?
Not yet.
How will you prevent it?
Oh, Mother, you're such a mouse. Do you think a wife must give in to a husband every time he insists? And one of his age? There are ways of being nice to a man without risking pregnancy every time. Have you never thought of marrying again? You know, you're still an attractive woman.
I've thought of it. Why? Do you want to get rid of me?
Of course not. On the contrary, I'd hope that you and any husband would continue to live in the new palace.
Well, there's nobody who wants me.
Not even Appius Silanus?
Why ever did you say that?
Oh. Weren't you fond of him once?
Oh, well. What a memory you have. You were so young.
Oh, I remember him very well. He used to come to the house quite often.
Well, that was a long time ago. And besides, he was in Rome at the time of Caligula's assassination. But he never came near me.
Perhaps he lacked encouragement.
Well, he went back to Spain, and I've no desire to live there. So stop making plans in that busy little head of yours.
And so Livia is a goddess at last. That will please her. I think she wanted that more than anything.
Yes, I've kept my promise, though I never dreamed I'd ever be able to. But the Senate formally granted my request this morning. Livia takes her place among the gods.
I should like to be there in heaven when she arrives. And the divine Augustus takes her by the hand and shows her to all the gods. Oh, how proud he'll be.
The Lady Messalina is excessively romantic.
Yes. I'm a lucky man, am I not? Shall we tell him?
Since he's going away, let him be the first to know.
She's pregnant again.
So soon?
You see? Even Herod thinks it's too soon.
My love, it wasn't my fault.
Well, whose fault was it then, huh?
Well, no. I mean, she gave our little son out to be nursed. Well, yes, I understood. She does so much work for me, it was inconvenient. But it's well known. Breastfeeding is a sure guarantee against pregnancy.
When is it due?
In July.
I shall send it something very special indeed.
What am I going to do without you, my friend? Won't you change your mind and stay?
No, Caesar, you don't need me anymore.
Need you? Who's going to tell me how to borrow money or what the corn factors are saying in the city?
You have good people about you now who can tell you far more than I can.
Messalina, make him change his mind.
He has kingdoms of his own to govern, and you've given him several more than he had when he arrived.
Oh, yes. Yes, I mustn't be selfish.
But it's true. All your principal advisors are freedmen. It would be good to find a nobleman to take the place of King Herod, on whom you could absolutely rely.
Are you thinking of someone?
Yes, my love.
You see how she works for me? Her mind is never still. Who?
Appius Silanus?
No, he's governor of Spain.
Well, yes, and a man of immense experience. He's wasted in Spain. You should bring him to the palace and have him permanently at your side.
He has Republican sentiments.
Well, haven't I?
He spoke out strongly against you in the Senate after the assassination.
Augustus never inquired into people's political beliefs. He always said that was not his concern. I shall always do the same. Yeah, but I'm not sure Silanus would like to live in the palace.
Well, the new palace, which you've turned into offices.
I have a feeling the Lady Messalina is ahead of us.
What are you thinking?
It's only a suggestion, but you know my mother was fond of him once. It would please her to marry again, and I'm sure that Silanus would not be averse to a connection by marriage with the Emperor's family.
Have you added matchmaker to your list of chosen careers?
Of course, if you don't approve. then...
I'm joking. I think it's a very good idea. Hey, what do you think?
As from today, I cease to give advice on any subject.
Oh, well, I'm tired. I shall leave you both to talk. Good night, my dear.
Have we tired you out?
Oh, of course not. Goodbye, King Herod. If your people love you as much as we do, you are a fortunate king indeed.
I shall be thinking of you in July.
Good night.
Good night. Am I not the most fortunate of men, Herod? Now, why have I deserved such luck?
Oh, it's fool's luck, little marmoset. You've always had it and you always will. One day, I'm sure, you'll be an Olympian god when I'm only a dead king. You know, when I first came to Rome, you all seemed like gods to me.
Oh, I'm sure I never looked like one.
Yes, even you. Do you ever think of those days at all, eh, little marmoset?
Yes, lately I've been thinking about them a good deal, and with a good reason. I'm thinking of writing a book about my family.
What sort of book?
A truth.
Will you tell everything?
Everything, as an historian should. No, not great tales of heroic exploits, as Titus Livia wrote, no, but the plain facts. The kitchen details, even the gossip.
Why? Why should you want to write such a book, eh? Why rake it all up?
Because I owe it to the others to tell the truth. To Posthumus and Germanicus.
Why?
Because they're dead. And a man should keep faith with his friends, even though they're dead. You see, I've been so very fortunate in my life, when they who were born more deserving have not. I've had only 3 real friends in my life. Posthumus and Germanicus were 2. Third one's you.
Listen, Claudius. Let me give you a piece of advice.
Oh, I thought you'd finish with advice.
One last piece, and then I'm done. Trust no one, my friend. No one. Not your most grateful freedman. Not your most intimate friend. Not your dearest child. Not the wife of your bosom. Trust no one.
No one? Not even you?
Is it all right?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Is it a boy or a girl?
Well, let us at least get the engineers to survey it. We've always wanted a safe winter harbor. Everybody's always said it would cost too much. Well, let us find out.
Caesar, the child is born.
Caesar, your child is born. The child is born, Caesar. It's a girl.
Lucilla be praised! She's heard my prayers. I'm coming. Let's have no more discussion. Get the engineers to make that survey. Then we'll decide.
It'll cost 10 million.
More.
Well, the more expensive it is, the less likely it is it will ever be built.
What are you suggesting? That we exaggerate the cost?
Well, my dear Narcissus, you have money in corn. I have money in corn. Lots of people have money in corn. The more corn that can be landed in winter, the lower the price will be. That worries me.
That could be construed as a very selfish point of view.
Are you saying there is less selfishness in wanting the price of corn to be low rather than high?
Well, there are more people who want it to be low.
Doesn't that add up to more selfishness rather than less?
But that is sheer sophistry. One cannot argue with you.
Well, let's get the engineer's report, and I'm quite sure the cost will take care of the philosophical considerations.
Yeah, must have fallen asleep.
You're tired. You don't look well. You work too hard.
Yes. Yes, but so do you.
You're not so young as I am. What does your doctor say?
What they all say. I work too many hours, I should work less.
Well, they're right. You should leave more things to other people.
Yeah, well, I'm going to see another doctor soon. A Greek, recommended by Herod.
Oh, do you think that wise? Our own doctors are so clever.
Well, I'll see him. What can I lose? How's my little daughter?
Cutting her first tooth. The nurse showed it to me today.
God. Oh, that's painful. Poor little thing.
I think I have the most adorable husband in the world. He feels everything so deeply.
You have the most adoring.
What did you tell me the other day were the three main pillars of the Temple of Love?
Oh, frankness, kindness, and understanding. Why?
I want to put them to the test.
What have you done?
Nothing. But there's something I want to do, and for which I must be frank.
And for which I must be kind and understanding. Well, tell me.
Could you possibly allow me to sleep in a bedroom of my own for a little while? Oh, don't look like that, or I shall hate myself forever. Oh, I should never have suggested it.
Oh, you not love me anymore? Good, I could understand that. I am so much older than you.
Oh, my dear. I love you more than I ever did. Don't you know that? Well, it's because I do that I don't want to risk a third pregnancy in so short a time. Well, don't you see what it could do to our marriage? To our love for one another?
My love, I would never force myself upon you. Well, do we have to sleep apart? Couldn't we at least share the same bed?
Don't you see how much more it would hurt our marriage if you felt passionate to me in the night and I felt I had to refuse you? And if I did not, well, how remorseful you would feel afterwards. Oh, I've hurt you. I should never have mentioned it.
No. Oh. How long would you want the separation to last?
Oh, not long. Well, let's see how it goes. You know I couldn't keep away from you forever. I shall slip into your room now and then when you least expect it. I think that could be even more fun, don't you?
Pardon me, Caesar, but you asked me to let you know the moment the noble Appius Junius Silanus arrived. He is here.
Oh, yeah, I'll see him shortly.
Oh, no, wait, I'm leaving. Let him come in. Well, he's had a long journey.
Yeah, Well, very well, my love. If you think it would be good for our marriage to be apart for a little while. Yes. Women know more about these matters than men. I'll have the servants arrange another bedroom.
Oh, well, there's no need for that. Well, since you've agreed that it's a very sensible proposal, let's do it properly and remove all temptation. I'll move into a suite, next to my mother in the new palace. Well, after all, my offices are there too. It'll be much more convenient.
The noble Appius Junius Silanus, Caesar.
Hail, Caesar.
Did you have a good journey?
Excellent. The roads are in good shape.
Do you know my wife, the Lady Messalina?
Only as a girl. You're even more beautiful than you were then.
I'm so glad you're here. You shall be a great help to my husband. I'll tell my mother you've arrived. Perhaps we can all meet at dinner.
It will give me great pleasure to see her again.
Your eyes are inflamed, but I can deal with that. I'll give you a lotion to bathe them with. Slight retraction of the eyeballs. You've had infantile paralysis?
Yes.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that. The rest of your body is fairly sound, though. It's good, strong arms. You developed those to compensate for your legs. Were you a premature birth?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. And you've had measles, colitis, erysipelas.
Yeah, and scrofula. Can you tell all that just by looking at me?
And using my brains. Your food is not properly digested from yesterday.
Well, we had a wedding yesterday. Appius Silanus married my mother-in-law. I probably ate too much.
You must stop that. Never get up from a table without wishing you'd like something more. I suppose you get wind? Yes, well, if you do, let it out. Don't hold it in. It does great injury to the stomach. I don't mind which end you let it out, but let it out. The man who puts good manners before good health is a fool. I suppose it's no point in prescribing exercise?
No, what time do I get for exercise?
Massage will have to do. You can get up now. Now, Caesar, listen to me. You work too many hours. I don't suppose you'll reduce them because all important people think they're indispensable. But I suggest you read as little as possible. Get your secretaries to read everything to you. Rest for an hour after your principal meal. Don't go rushing off to the law courts as soon as you finish your dessert. And you must find time for 20 minutes massage twice a day.
Well, I've got a very good masseur.
Get rid of him. The only good masseurs in Rome are slaves of mine. I'll send one of them to you.
What about these cramps in my stomach?
What cramps? Well, if you will eat large meals quickly in a state of nervous excitement, you must expect cramp. But I'll give you some medicine to relieve them.
Ah, medicine, yes. Some secret preparation, I suppose. Well, can I get that here, or shall I have to send away for it?
You can find it on the nearest piece of waste ground. It's bryony.
Common bryony?
That's right. I'll leave instructions on how to repair it.
And what about the prayers?
What prayers?
Well, don't you prescribe special prayers to be used when taking the medicine?
I suggest, Caesar, that as High Pontiff and the author of a book on religion, you are more qualified to prescribe prayers than I am.
Do you Greeks believe in nothing?
I've told you what I believe in. Bryony. Hail, Caesar.
You asked to see me.
Yes.
I too wish to see you. I've not had an opportunity of speaking to you since the wedding, which I understand I owe to your good offices.
Yes.
You have done me a kindness. And I hope your mother.
Let me speak with you for a moment. Come and sit beside me. I love you. I've always loved you, ever since I was a girl. No. No, don't say anything. In all the years since you stopped coming to our house, I have never once gone to sleep at night without thinking of you. Not once. Can you understand that? Not one single night have I slept without thinking of your arms about me. I've burned inside thinking of you. And now you're here. Here.
I don't understand.
Oh, my darling. I've arranged all this to have you near me. I've dreamed of nothing else.
Well, then I must tell you that these are the fantasies of a young girl. They're the sort of dreams we put aside when we grow up.
But I have not put them aside, nor will I.
Am I to understand that my marriage to your mother, which you brought me here to, that was a farce? It was in order that you and I could sleep together.
My mother is not important.
And your husband?
Claudius? Why? Do you think I'd arranged all this without his consent? Well, why do you think we sleep apart? Those are his arrangements, not mine. Oh, not that I mind. His sexual practices are abhorrent to me.
Why has he agreed to your sleeping apart?
Because he now wishes to practice them with the wives of several senators. He wants me kept amused while he does so. And he expects you to do it. That's why you're here.
Then let him tell me that himself.
Oh, you simpleton! Do you think he would tell you himself? He'll deny it, of course he will. You disappoint me. I thought you more sophisticated than to confront a man with an arrangement he is agreeable to but would prefer not to discuss. Are you all so brutally obvious in Spain? Everything is arranged, my darling.
You're right. I am a simpleton. Having lived through the reigns of 3 Caesars and seen the depths to which Rome has sunk beneath them, I should have known better than to believe a 4th could be any different. I have a granddaughter nearly your age. No, I won't deny that I'm of an amorous disposition. I have been all my life. But I wouldn't touch you, lady, for all your beauty, with a 10-foot pole.
You forget who I am. Not the girl you once teased and joked with, but the Emperor's wife. I have only to raise my voice and tear my clothes for you to be executed on the spot. I give you 1 week to come to me of your own accord and on your knees. If you do not, I shall tell my husband that you refused me. And in refusing his wife, you will have insulted him. He's become very vain, you know.
You're wasting your time, lady. I've lived too long to become the bedtime toy of a 17-year-old girl. Your threats are wasted on me.
We shall see.
Yes, we shall see. And Rome shall see how easy it is to straighten one's back and hold one's head high when the will is there.
Well, what is it? It's a plan for rebuilding the harbor at Ostia.
Well, of course it is. Whose is it?
It was made in the time of the divine Julius. Where did you find it, Caesar?
In the archives. It's almost identical to the one Tortius has just produced. Here, come and look at it, Silanus. What's the matter with you? Are you ill?
No, Caesar.
What relevance have these plans to us, Caesar?
Well, you'll be interested to learn that the engineers working under the divine Julius estimated this rebuilding would take 4 years and cost 4 billion gold pieces. The estimates presented to me are for 10 years and 15 million gold pieces.
Caesar, those estimates are 90 years old.
Not less days in a year now than there were then, or less hours in a day.
There's been an increase in the cost of materials since then.
The prices have risen by more than a quarter. How then do you explain my chief engineer's estimate? Yeah, I will explain. Everywhere, for instance, you underestimate the amount of earth that 100 men could move in a day. I mean, are men weaker now than they were then? Yet the topography remains unchanged. Yet on the divine Julius plan, they were cutting through earth. In yours, you claim we were cutting through rock.
I can't understand it.
Let me explain it then. Your surveyors have been taking bribes from the corn factors.
Caesar!
Shocking, isn't it?
I can't think why they should.
I can. To keep up the price of corn. Wouldn't you agree, Silanus?
Yes, Caesar.
Very well, Tortius, you will begin work on the basis of these estimates. Revised, of course, for the difference in prices.
But even so, Caesar, where's the money to come from? It's not in the purse.
We shall get the first $1 million on loan from the corn factors.
$1 million? They can't raise that kind of money.
Oh, you will be amazed, Pallas, at what they can raise in return for my agreement not to begin an inquiry into allegations of bribing my officials. Yes, now it's very late. You may all go. We'll visit the harbour tomorrow.
I should like a word with you alone, Caesar.
Oh, very well. Come and look at these plans, Silanus. You didn't take much notice of them. The divine Julius certainly knew what he was about. Yes. They are remarkable. In many ways, much better than the ones Claudius has produced. The only thing they leave out is the building of the island between the two moles. Hey, come and look at this. Help me! Waste! Get up! Get up!
What happened?
Caesar, you're hurt! What? No, it's doctor. Why? Silanus tried to kill me. Why? Why?
Let me have him, Caesar. He'll talk.
Why, Silanus? Why?
Tyrant!
I don't understand. What harm have I ever done you? I brought you back from Spain. I made you a minister. I connected you by marriage with my family.
Yes, to put me in bed with your wife and service her like a bull.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You're all the same. Don't toy with me, Caesar. I'm not a slave. Do what you have to do.
I ask you again. What do you mean?
You know what I mean. How predictable you emperors are. All your reigns begin and end the same. From vices timidly concealed to vices openly displayed. One follows the other as surely as decay follows death.
Fetch the lady Messalina. Fetch her mother.
Oh, get it over with, Caesar. We've all seen this play before. Don't make us sit through it to the end.
You will explain that calumny on my wife and on her mother. And if you do not or will not to my satisfaction, you will surely die for this attempt on my life.
What is it? What's the matter?
Appius Silanus has tried to kill the Emperor.
Silanus? Oh, but why? Why would he do such a thing?
I don't know. I thought perhaps you could tell me. What have you done? What do you know about this?
I know nothing. Nothing. Do you think I will plot to kill my own husband? There's no time to discuss it now. You must support everything I say. Do you understand?
I will do nothing that will incriminate Silanus. He is my husband.
Oh, you fool! Do you think I brought him back from Spain for you? I love him. I've always loved him.
You are monstrous!
You will tell my husband what I tell him. Do you understand? If you do not, I shall say that you were part of it all.
I'll say you agreed to it.
Oh, my dear. Oh, what's happened? Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
The doctor's...
I'm all right. Silanus tried to assassinate me. I'm all right. I want you to look at him. I want you to look into his face. Now, repeat to her what you said to me.
Oh, let's finish with this. Get it over.
Repeat it.
For whom? For her who told me what I told you? Or for you who knew it all to begin with?
Repeat it!
I told your husband what you told me. That he had arranged my marriage to your mother so that you could become my mistress. That he had done it so that you could be kept amused while he took his own perverted pleasures elsewhere. It was there and then that I decided to kill him, to strike a last blow for Rome, and end this plague of emperors.
Well.
Oh, Silanus. How could you? How could you?
He is sick with love, my dear, for me. I should have told you. I should have come to you at once, but I thought it was a madness that would pass. Apparently, he has loved me ever since I was a little girl. I had no idea. How could I? Since he returned, he has pestered me day and night, sometimes pleading, and sometimes angry and violent. I think, perhaps in his mind, he does in some way believe what he told you. That I had arranged his marriage for our convenience. You poor, deluded man. How could you think there was anyone dearer to me than my husband? When he came to me today, he was so violent that I said I would come to you and have you send him away. Well, that's when he threatened to kill you. Well, I never in my wildest dreams imagined he would carry out such a threat.
Bravo! Beautifully played. That performance should be enshrined in drama.
Is this true?
Yes. His passion for my daughter has turned his wits.
Have you anything to say?
Only that what I did, I'd do again.
Then you leave me no choice.
No! Oh, no! Please, my dearest, I beg you. I couldn't bear for him to die because of his love for me. No, no. Banish him. Banish him, but let him live.
He must die, Caesar.
No! No!
An attempted assassination cannot be punished with banishment. Such a precedent would serve only to encourage others.
What a soft heart you have. Even after all the lies he's told about you. But Pallas is right. The heart cannot rule the head in these matters. I cannot do it, even for you. I sentence you to die as you sentenced me. Take him away.
May you rot in hell!
And that she-wolf with you! Now leave me. All of you. I'm tired.
the right. I hold it. Maybe someday I find my way. Maybe someday I still see light up there. I keep reaching on from awakening for love. Lord, it's time, can you see? Maybe someday fly away. Maybe someday still lie up there. Sitting on a key of changing. Follow ways, keep from studying. Lovely time, I can't see you. I'm reaching for you away. To set me free, Lord, it's time. Can you hear now? Calling up to the right.